Hi guys, Ms. Perkins here. Today we're going to be talking about comparison word problems. So we're going to be able to solve comparison word problems using a double tape diagram, which is something we have not done a lot of this school year. So we're going to get right into it with this first word problem. Alrighty guys, it says Hunter drew 3 pictures. Rose drew 4 more pictures than Hunter. How many pictures did Rose draw? So let's figure out, first let's take a second to think about what's going on. Well, they're talking about drawing pictures. Hunter drew 3, Rose drew 4 more than Hunter. So drew 4 more than 3. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to figure out. So now we're going to chunk it. And we're going to, remember, chunk it means we're going to read a little. And then we're going to draw a little. Okay, so we're going to read a little, then draw a little. So it says, Hunter drew 3 pictures. Can we draw something? Yes, we can. We can draw 3 pictures for Hunter. Now, we're going to be doing it a little differently. We're still going to be labeling with the letter and number, but it's going to look a little different since we're doing a double type diagram. So we're going to have the H for Hunter outside the box. And then we're going to draw a box with 3 in it. That's Hunter's 3 pictures. Now we know that Rose drew 4 more pictures than Hunter. So we know Rose drew 4 more pictures than Hunter. Well, how many pictures did Hunter draw? 3. So I'm going to copy this 3 because Rose did this 3 and 4 more. So we do 4 and then a little M for more. Okay? So we have to figure out how many pictures did Rose draw. So I'm going to put a little mystery box right here. And I'm going to put a check that I drew. Now, let's put our number sense of things that we know so far. We're just figuring out Rose. We know Hunter had 3. We have to figure out how many Rose had since Rose had 4 more than Hunter. So what is my number sense going to be? Well, it's 3 plus 4 equals mystery box. Now, how can we figure this out? Well, you could draw a picture of 3 circles and 4 circles and count them. You could also count on 1. You could start with the bigger number in your brain and then count on 3 times. So you could say 4, 5, 6, 7. So you know it's 7. Some of you may already know 3 plus 4 equals 7, and that is perfect too. So Rose drew 7 pictures. Alrighty, moving on. Now this one is one that you could do on your own, just like what we did, like we just did. So if you would like to do this one on your own, you can. You will need to get yourself some scratch paper and a pencil. Make sure your pencil has a good eraser on it. So if you need to, you can pause the video and get that those materials. And then I'll read it, and you'll be able to pause it again to be able to solve it. Alright, guys. So it says Sam played 8 games. Max played 5 more games than Sam. How many games did Max play? Alright. So, if you would like to, if you're solving on your own, you can pause it. Remember, think about what it's telling you, what it's giving you. Do your double tape diagram. Do your number sentence and your statement. Remember, this is just practice. And also remember that you're not going to have informative classwork. So this would be a good idea if this is going to be your only practice. So it would be a good idea for you to do it now. Okay? So you can pause if you like. All right, now we're going to chunk it. It says Sam played 8 games. So we know that Sam, he played 8 games. Max played 5 more games than Sam. Well, this is Max. Well, I'm going to copycat this 8 because he played 8 games just like Sam and 5 more. We have to figure out how many games Max played. Well, what is going to be my number sentence? Well, we know that Max had 8 and 5, so 8 plus 5 equals mystery box. So I read and I drew. Now, we have to figure out our mystery. That's our whole that is missing. Well, how can we figure out our whole? Well, we know that to figure out our whole, we have to add our part plus our other parts, our 8 and our 5, which is what our number sentence says. So there's a few different ways you can do it. You could draw 8, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can count it. Or you can just count on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. So Max played 13 games. So that is another way you can also do it. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got this correct, and give yourself a pat on the back if you at least tried to do this problem, because these are some harder comparison problems. I appreciate you guys trying to solve them. Even if you didn't get it correct just yet, that is okay. It's important that you try as best as you can to figure it out. Okay? So now looking at this, it says Mason had 19 grapes. Allie had 5 fewer grapes than Mason. How many grapes did Allie have? So that's different about this word problem. The last two we just did said more in it. This one says fewer. Well, that's one thing we got to think about. So now I'm going to read it again. Let's talk about what's going on. Mason had 19 grapes. Allie had 5 fewer grapes than Mason. How many grapes did Allie have? Mason had 19. Allie had 5 fewer than Mason. So Allie had 5 fewer than 19. So how many grapes did Allie have? So we have to figure that out. Now, let's chunk it. Because Mason had 19 grapes. Now, guys, if you want to, you can always do this with me. You can always use that scratch sheet paper and that pencil to do it with me this first time and then do it on your own the next time. That's also an option if you would like. So Mason had 19 grapes. Let's draw that. My M, and then we have to draw 19. Now, Allie, she had 5 fewer than Mason. Well, we're going to copycat Mason's first. We know that Mason had 19. But we know Allie had 5 fewer. So I'm going to put a line right here and put 5 fewer. This is going to be how many Allie has, actually. Because we have to do that to be able to figure out how many she actually has. Since we know that Allie had 5 fewer, we have to figure this out. Now we have to do our number sentence. There's 2 different number sentences you can do. You could do an addition, where you're doing 5 plus mystery box equals 19. Or, if you have a missing part, you can also do subtraction. 19 minus 5 equals mystery box. Now, the subtraction might be just a little bit easier to help you, to help you be able to solve this. But if you do an addition one and you're able to get it without no problems, then you go ahead. But that's just one thing I want to tell you. So we read and we drew. Now, there's a few things that you could do. You could draw a picture. You could draw 19 and then take away 5 and then circle the rest and count how many you have left. Or you could do a decomposing strategy where you take apart 19 to 10, 9. Take 5 from 9, which is 4. 10 plus 4 equals 14. So we know that 19 minus 5 equals 14, or 5 plus 14 equals 19. So Allie had 14 grapes. Alrighty, guys, let's go to the next one. Now, this is going to be one just like what we've done before. So if you would like to, you could pause it after I read it to be able to try it on your own. Remember, this is going to be your only practice, because we're not going to have any classwork informative. So it'd be a great idea for you to stop it, to at least try it. All right, so I'm going to read it for you. It says, Sally built a block tower using 14 blocks. Eva built a tower by using 4 fewer blocks than Sally. How many blocks did Eva use to build her tower? All right, guys, if you would like to do this on your own, you could stop it right now. to solve it. All right, guys. Now, let's talk about what's going on here. Sally, she had 14 blocks. She built a tower using 14 blocks. Eva built a tower using 4 fewer blocks than Sally, so 4 fewer than 14. We have to figure out how many blocks did Eva have to use. So let's chunk it. Sally built a block tower using 14 blocks. So if you draw an S for Sally, draw my tape diagram. This is the 14 blocks that she used. Now, Eva built a tower using 4 fewer blocks than Sally. So we know that Eva built one. We're just going to copycat Sally. So we know it's 4 fewer than Sally. So this is the 14. This is going to be the 4 fewer than Sally. We have to figure out how many is this. Let's figure out how many blocks did Eva use to build her tower. Well, remember, just like last time, you have 2 number sentences you could do. You can do an addition, where it's 4 plus mystery box equals 14. Or you could do subtraction, because remember, you're missing a part. So you could use subtraction as well. 14 minus 4 equals mystery box. Now, some of you might already know the answer, and that is wonderful. Some of you may need to draw a picture. You might want to draw 14, cross out, circle the rest. You have your answer. You can also do a decomposing. 14 minus 4, decompose 14 and 10. Oh, sorry. I'm going to change mine around to 10, 4. Take 4 from 4, so we know it's 0. 10 plus 1 equals 10. So we know that it is 10. So Eva used 10 blocks. Give yourself a round of applause if you got this correct, or if you gave it your best try. Because remember, guys, that is showing that you are learning as if you're trying your best. Okay, that's how you have to be able to try and practice to be able to be successful. Okay, with being able to solve these word problems. So now let's go to our last one. This is just one that we're just going to kind of do together. Okay. Because this one's a little bit trickier than the other 2 types that we have done. So this is just one that we're going to do together. Okay? So, this says, Jane is reading a book with 16 pages. Matt is reading a book with 10 pages. How much longer is Jane's book than Matt's book? Now, guys, remember you can solve this with me on your scratch paper. You can pause if I go too fast or anything like that, okay? So now, let's think about what's going on. Well, Jane, she read a book that's 16 pages. Matt read a book, or is reading a book also with 10 pages. We have to figure out how much longer is Jane's book than Matt's book. Well, this one's a little bit different, because it already tells us how much each person has. We have to figure out how much longer one book is from another. So let's figure this out. So let's chunk it. Jane is reading a book with 16 pages. So I'm going to put a J for Jane. This is my 16. Matt is reading a book with 10 pages. So I'm going to make an M for Matt. And this is my 10. We have to figure out how much longer is Jane's book than Matt's. Well, look at this. There's just this little piece right here that if we make an imaginary box, it would be 16 as well. So how many more we need to add to this 10 to make it 16, to figure out how much longer? Well, just like the last 2, and they were talking about fewer, we can set up our number sentence the same way. So we can do an addition one where it's 10 plus mystery box equals 16. Or we could do a subtraction sentence. 16 minus 10 equals mystery box. Now, this would be a good chance, if you would like to, you can also pause it right now to see if you can figure out and solve 16 minus 10 equals mystery box. Something that most of you should know what that is already. All right, let's check it. So 16 minus 10. Now, you can draw 16 cross out 10, circle the rest, and count it. Or you can do decomposing. 16 minus 10. Decompose 16 into 10, 6. Take 10 from 10. There's 0. 6 plus 0 equals 6. So, Jane's book is 6 pages longer than Matt's book. We read, redrew, and rewrote. Alrighty, guys, that is it for our word problems for this distance learning. Alright, guys, I love and miss you all. And I hope to see you all soon. Bye, guys.